Could you start off telling me how you began your piano playing?
I was about 4 and a half and went over to my grandmother's house, and she had a piano up there, and I just started sitting down. I started playing "My Country 'Tis of Thee," and so she said to my mom, she said, "No one up here is using this piano. Let's give it to you so Freddie can play it." And then she went to give me lessons, and the teacher said my hands were too little. So my mother said, "You show me, and I'll show him at home." But I played by ear, honey, since I was little. I still can't read music, because every time my teacher got me a new piece of music, she would play it for me, and I was picking it up by ear. Because 7 years later, she said, "You don't know what note this is?" And I said, "No." Her name was Mrs. Emery. She died at 96. And she said, "How did you know how to play it?" And I said, "Because you played it for me." And she said, "Oh, God gave you a gift. You've got perfect pitch, and you play by ear." So I've been playing by ear well, I'm 72 now, and I started when I was 5 officially. And then I played with bands in high school and all that. Then I got drafted in the service, 61 to 63, at Fort Knox. And I volunteered for Germany and Japan, and I got metal in my left arm. I played 2 screws in a wire and went in a car accident. And first day in basic training, they said, "What are you doing here with an arm like that?" I said, "I was drafted." And they said, "You go to the Army Ireland Hospital. Any injury you come in with and be injured again, you're liable for life." So they said, "You can't go to Germany and Japan, you got to stay at Fort Knox for 2 years. When you're drafted, it's 2 years, and when you're joined, it's 3. So I took a Greyhound bus into town to Louisville and found out they had piano. I mean, I asked this lady, I said, "You can play the piano here without being with a band to get paid?" She said, "Yes." So they're called piano bars. So I started here in 1964 at Iroquois Gardens. It's torn down now. It's a New Cut Road. It used to be called. It's called Iroquois Garden Apartments now. Then I went from there to Club Sahara for 2 years, and then Admiral Benbow Inn. Then I went to Nashville, Tennessee, and tried to get in the recording studios, but that was trying to see God. They had enough piano players. So I stayed there about 4 months, and I came back to Louisville at Stover's Hotel down on 2nd and Broadway. It's the Wayside Christian Church bought it and uses it now. And then I worked at Jim Porter's for 8 years, Fifth Quarter Steakhouse for 10 years, and Monkey's uncle out at Shelby Road. There used to be a Chi-Chi's out there, and Monkey's uncle, and I played there for about 2 years. And then I was working at Ramada Inn on Zorn Avenue, and Luther James, who owns this place, Ramada Inn, and where Jerry used to work at Quality Inn on Brownsboro Road. Well, he sold the Brownsboro Road Inn, and he sold Ramada Inn. So Jerry came over here. He said, "Freddie, come over here and work with me." And I said, "Jerry, I can't stand these hours, 7 to 9:30. I'm usually playing 10 till 2 in the morning." He said, "Well, give it a try." He called me 4 times. I said, "All right, I'll give it a try." So I did, and I asked all my friends, because they're getting older, what do they think of these hours? They said, "Freddie, we love them because we don't have to take a nap to come see you now." So I've been here, honey, last November 7th was 2 years.
You have your own corner down there. It says Freddie's Corner.
Jerry did that for me. I come in one day and saw it. I said, "Who did that?" And he said, "I did." I said, "That was so nice of you." And he made it Freddie's Corner.
So you have your own special place where you have, is that your piano, or is that their piano?
It's a friend of mine piano. My friend, honey, has a store called Keyboard Corporation in Elizabethtown. He distributes pianos for music stores. Well, he said the piano we had here was like 4 foot 5 inches long, and it was awful. Some of the bass notes were broke, hammers were broke off. Had a tune twice, it wouldn't stay in tune. So I called Dennis up in Dennis Roby at Keyboard Corporation in Elizabethtown. He said, "Freddie, I got plenty of pianos in my storeroom. We'll send one down." So he sent. This is an Essex. It's made by Steinway, and it's you can tell by the bass line, it's a good piano. And I said, he would let me pay for the movers. He wouldn't pay any rent on it. I said, "Dennis, what if I leave here?" He said, "Just take it with you."
Wow.
So he's a good friend. He's a really good friend to do something like that for free. He did the same thing. I worked at Ramada Inn on Zorn. Wouldn't let me pay for movers. He brought me a piano in there and all that stuff. So he's a good guy, honey, and a good friend. And everybody said, "Aren't you going to retire?" And I said, "No, I'll play until I drop over, maybe at the keyboard."
Wow.
And I'm still go back to Pennsylvania twice a year to visit my sister and my relatives and neighbors. Newcastle.
Tell me a bit about your early life.
Always played music, always loved to fish. I used to come home after work like this and change and go fishing until the morning daylight came. And worked in a drugstore as a stock boy for $50 a week. I graduated high school in '56. I was 17. And got a job at Ecker's drugstore, stock boy honey, for $50 a week, and I thought that was fantastic money back then, you know. But I saved my money and I still have the first car I ever bought. It was a 1964 Chevelle.
You still have it?
I still have it with antique plates.
Wow.
And my buddy in Fisherville, which is right past Taylorsville Lake, is going to fix it up for me. I haven't driven it for 2 years, only one tire's flat and a couple of them are low. I'm not sure if the O-rings are dried out and all that stuff. I don't know when I stopped driving it. I was doing it every 2 weeks just to keep the engine good and all. And you know how time slips away. And I said, well, I'll start it next week, and then the week, and then next week. And
I know how that happens.
So I got to get it worked on. He said, Freddie, it's going to cost about $9,000 or $10,000 to fix it up showroom style. But if you just want it fixed up normal, it'll be about $3,000 or $4,000 because it was stolen for 2 years, honey, and the people wrecked it. The grills pushed in, the seats were razor bladed. They were bench seats. Now I've got 2 Nash Rambler seats in there and bucket seats, and they go back because I used to sleep in the woods a lot and do a bed. And I said, well, leave the inside go, doesn't have to be original. I said, just to fix it up to look good. He said, Freddie, we're going to put a burglar system on it because this car's have to be stolen. It's the first year they made the Chevelle. So he's going to do that for me too. I must take the driver though, like leaving it out here or something. So, you know, they can get in anything if they want to. And, but if they steal it, they steal it. I think it's just material stuff, and we're here for a short time on the planet. And we want to live life with a lot of love and forgive people that hurt us, so we can graduate in the spirit when we leave here. And, I'm a big believer in reincarnation. I think we go from one planet to another like schoolrooms until we become Christ-like, like Jesus' teaching says. I don't think it can be done in one lifetime.
I don't think so either. I think I've been around the block a couple times already.
Oh, I do too. I think we all have. I don't think we ever had a beginning and we'll never have an end. We're spiritual beings, and I think we get bored. So we take on lifetimes. So we have to remember about karma. We have to be kind to everyone, so we can have a nice lifetime. You know?
Yeah.
And that's my philosophy. My relatives, bless their heart, are all born again Christians, and they think Satan's got a hold of me because I talk about reincarnation and stuff. And I said, I don't believe in Satan. I don't believe in heaven or hell. I think it's a state of mind. And I don't believe in God. It's like I was taught in Sunday school. I was raised in Wesleyan Methodist Church for 14 years. And I said to my Sunday school, he said, you have to accept Jesus Christ as your personal Savior to get to heaven. And I said, what about a native in Africa that was a good guy, never heard of Jesus, and he died? He shook his head, it'd be too bad for him. I said, well, I don't like that kind of God then. So I think God, honey, is an energy of love that flows through all living things and through the universe and creates planets and the stars and all that. It's an energy instead of an old man in the sky with a white beard. And Jesus Christ is a son of God, not the son of God, just like we're all sons of God. We're all connected only in Jesus Christ, so the things I do you can do in greater. That's a pretty heavy statement. So we all have the same power he does, and we just have to learn to develop it, and that's what he was here to teach us. And we don't do it in one life. We'll go through different lifetimes, so we don't get bored and all that stuff either.
How did you learn all of the songs you know on piano? And do you know how many songs that you know?
People ask me how many songs do you know, and I said, I have no idea, but I said once people request them, once I hear it, I can play it, you know. I play all by ear, I learn this by ear. Songs like Music Box Dancer, I can learn in 5 minutes because it's very simple, and the verse repeated itself 3 times. Bohemian Rhapsody took me about 3 months to learn by ear because of the guitar solos and the harmonies, and I'm still not doing it exactly right. I'm not doing all the guitar solos right because I would like to record that someday. But I love it to play it. It's a fun song to play. Freddie Mercury, I think he was fantastic, and Queen, love the group. And of course, my favorite group is Beatles, and my favorite album is Sgt. Pepper. Next time you come in, I play the whole album. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.